Hey BioCrew, I'm here in NutraBio's new QC lab. Now you've seen a couple videos I've done over the last couple months on this showing you what's happening here. I just wanted to give you a behind the scenes update on what we're doing this week. So this is our new Bluemix rapid microbiological testing equipment, and this is designed to test microbials, dangerous organisms like E. coli, salmonella, yeast mold, and other things, to make sure that they're not in the finished product that you get. What's interesting and what I like about this equipment, why we're installing it, is we've got to do this testing twice, both on the raw material and on the finished product. I'll explain that in a moment. It takes about 6 to 7 days normally for that microbial testing. This unit, with the technology we're putting in, will bring that down to under 48 hours. So that's taking 2 weeks of testing down to about 4 days of testing for the two tests. That's really important for us to get our products out to you on a timely basis. So I have to do it twice. Let me explain that. You've heard me talk about the testing we do on our raw materials, that every single batch that comes to this facility goes into a quarantine warehouse where it has to get tested internally and externally through third party for purity, potency, composition, identity, heavy metals, and microbials. Well, microbials is what this machine is doing right here. Okay? Every single batch gets tested that way. When the product is finished, that finished product also gets a sample brought into here, and we have to do the same testing again. We have to go through microbial again. Because even though we've tested the raw material, and we know the raw material has no dangerous microorganisms in there, maybe the plastics, the bottles, or something came in with it, or maybe something happened during the process that allowed a dangerous microorganism to get in there. And that's what we want to ensure never ever happens to a product that comes to you. And that's what we're doing here. Now, the way this machine works is you have these vials. These vials go into 3 separate drawers that will open up here, and these will incubate for a certain period of time and at a certain heat level. There's 2 zones in this vial. The top is the incubation zone, and that's where we put our sample, and it's mixed with a reagent that's specific for this particular microorganism that we're testing for. And the lower zone is called the observation zone. A dual LED will shine through here, and it will test changes in fluorescence as the incubation period goes on, and that will tell us whether there's any changes in microorganisms, whether they're growing or not. The system will then kick out a C of A that'll list all of the microorganisms and their levels so that our lab tech can check them, make sure they're below specific levels that we need, and then our PhD, who's our lab manager, will do a second check on that. Then and only then will a raw material be released from the quarantine warehouse, and will a finished product be released from the finished product quarantine warehouse. Now this unit is 21 CFR 11 certified by the FDA, so it's good for CGMP, and that's what the kind of manufacturing we do here, but it's not ready for use yet. There's a whole process that can take another week or so called the validation process. We have to bring a third-party company in, similar to what we do when we validate our scales and any timers or other pieces of lab equipment that we have here. And they've got to set this up and validate it for USP 61, 62, and USP 21, 22, and 23. And what that's going to do is it's going to make sure that the equipment we have is set up for our environment, for the samples that we're doing, and for the process that we're doing, and it's giving us an exact readout on the microbials that we need before we can release a product. All of this is just another behind-the-scenes look at the attitude we have, that promise that we have of never ever compromising. Now, we always talk about that as far as product quality, and that's the full label transparency, no proprietary blends, listing every ingredient on the label with the exact dosage, no fillers, no excipients, that testing at the end to make sure it's meeting label claim, and putting the testing results up online for you to view. But you never ever see some of the safety procedures we do to make sure the product is safe. Microbiological testing is one of those. We do heavy metal testing, a second one. We do metal check. So every finished container goes through a metal check to make sure a piece of equipment didn't fall off or something into your bottle. So those are some of the behind the scenes look at how we keep and make sure that every single product that we produce here is both the highest quality without compromise and the safest product without compromise. Thanks for listening.